Well, Adam Raney joins us live now from Rio de Janeiro. Adam, are we any closer to understanding exactly what the demonstrators want?
Well, what they seem to want in the protests we've been in personally, several of them this week, they say they want better health care, better education, basically more spending by the government on the people of Brazil rather than on improving stadiums like this one. This is Maracanã Stadium, one of the most famous football stadiums in the world, and it got a $500 million facelift for the World Cup coming up in 2014. And let's just think about some of the figures that we know about this. This is taking place amidst some economic slowdown in Brazil. So far, the government has spent about $20 billion, not just on World Cup stadiums, but also improvements for the 2016 Olympics that will take place here in Rio. This comes as the economy has slowed down. A few years ago, Brazil was everyone's darling. The economy was growing super fast. Well, now it's growing at a pace of only about 2.5% every year. Meanwhile, prices are going up at about a rate of 6% a year right now. And, you know, that's not just prices on food items, that's transportation, and that's what kicked this all off. Bus fares, they went up by 10 cents, and that sent people into the streets. But it's not just the bus fares they're protesting about now. They're also angry about poverty, education, health care. And this is, of course, in a country where the minimum wage is just over $300 a month. That's not a lot here in Brazil. You cannot buy much with that. In fact, 40 million people in this country, about 1 in every 5 Brazilians, is still living in poverty. So these protests are full of hundreds of thousands of people. It cuts across all classes. Some of them are violent, as you mentioned, but the majority of people we see in the streets, filling the streets day after day, are doing it in a nonviolent manner.
And Adam, I understand we're expecting more protests later today. What more can you tell us about those?
Well, here in Rio, the protests are set to begin in about 2 hours. Maracanã Stadium's hosting another game in the Confederations Cup, kind of a warm-up to the 2014 World Cup. That game gets underway in an hour, and a few kilometers from here, we're expecting to see thousands of people massed in the center of Rio. We've been speaking to some of the people planning to go. They say they want to have a nonviolent protest. In fact, the police want a nonviolent protest. We have reports of the military police coming out and with pamphlets in their hands and also publishing them on social media sites, and those pamphlets are basically asking the protesters to not act in a violent way. They say paz, or peace, on these pamphlets. So we'll be seeing if most of the protesters respect those wishes of the police and also the wishes of most protesters themselves. But I was just down at the stadium just a little while ago, and there's a major presence there, so they're prepared in case the protest breaks off of its route and some of them end up at the stadium.
Adam, thank you.